It's a third attempt because I'm not being like short enough. First attempt 25 minutes, second attempt 20. So I'm going to try and make this as snappy as possible, which is really hard for me. Anyone that knows me will know why. So rather than going into all the details that I have in the last two attempts for this update, I'm going to put the details in writing below. Basically, I'm going to just give you the highlights. Firstly, hello. Sorry, John's not here. He's stuck with doing work. Basically, he's been inundated with work and pressures from work that he's still downstairs working currently. We've been meaning to do this video for the last week and a half, and he's not had 5 minutes to do it. So sorry. So it's just me and the MacBook. But hello. Second, and most importantly, thank you for everybody who's donated and shared so far. It's been incredibly kind and generous, and you have no idea just how much it does actually mean to us. So far, we've managed to raise £700, which is, it's a bit of a big deal. So we really, really do appreciate it. It does make a difference. It absolutely does. So thank you. So it's really hard to try and be concise with this. So yes, all of you, friends, family of friends, everybody who's helped so far, thank you. I looking at you, thank you very much. It's really appreciated. I went for my scan and consultation at the new fertility clinic, Create Fertility in St Paul's. It was with the lead consultant. She's brilliant, called Dr. Achana. She checked lots of things that haven't been checked before. So things like the blood flow to my uterus. So you use a Doppler and listen to the blood flow. She checked lots of other things, measurements. From that, with the transvaginal ultrasound, everything looked fine. However, I'm looking at that and looking at all my medical records, because I have had 9 losses now, and given my age and all of this sort of stuff, what she recommended going forward was she wants to do a hysteroscopy first, which is basically a camera into the uterine cavity. If you think of an endoscope, but yeah, it's a hysteroscopy. Checks all the integrity and quality of the endometrial lining. You can see a lot better than something like a ultrasound, because it's a proper camera. It can notice things like if the lining isn't is inhabitable, if there's any scarring in the lining, all sorts of things, endometriosis, all sorts of things like that. If they do notice anything as well while they're doing the hysteroscopy, so for example a polyp, they can remove that there and then while doing it, because they've got the little tools that they can put up the camera things and do all of those wonderful things. I think it's under sedation or general, I hope so. But yeah, basically they can do all of that. She recommended having that along with during it an endometrial biopsy, so they can check a few cells of the endometrial lining as well for anything that might be causing issues. And an endometrial scratch, which is where they scratch the lining of the endometrial wall, and that triggers an autoimmune response to make the lining nice and juicy and more receptive for an embryo. Now, that needs to be done. It's the cycle previous to the cycle that you intended to have the frozen embryo transfer. So depending on when this is all happening, obviously, that needs to be the month before. She also recommended, as I have 14 embryos, she recommends PGTA testing, but she said rather than testing all 14, she wants to just test. You get one embryo tested anyway, along with the normal cost of the PGTA testing, and then each embryo on top of that is £350 additional. So she said rather than us testing all 14 and it costing a fortune, and there may not be any reason to, she wants to test about 6 to 7-ish, and she's hoping from that amount we would hopefully have a couple of normal ones, chromosomally normal. Basically, if they were chromosomally abnormal, there's a huge chance that they would miscarry anyway, or wouldn't make it to full term, or they would be born and not be able to thrive and live for very long, more than likely. So she doesn't want to put me through the hysteroscopy, everything else, and all of the finance and costs of everything, to then put something back that's chromosomally abnormal. Given my age, I've got a much higher chance of having chromosomally abnormal embryos anyway. So yeah, she wants to basically make sure she's putting a healthy embryo back once she's tested, me and looked at me as well, because she doesn't want to put anything back until she knows I'm healthy and what's going on inside me, which is good that she's being so thorough. So I really do appreciate that. Right, trying to make this snappy now. So I can have a hysteroscopy on the NHS. However, because of COVID and the delays, it's had a massive knock-on effect with the wait times, basically. I mean, the NHS anyway are already, like huge wait times, and then with COVID as well. I would have to have a consultation with a new gynaecologist first for them to actually say they would be willing to do a hysteroscopy. That could take a month or two to even get my first consultation with them. Then it's at least an 8-month wait time for the NHS for hysteroscopy. So I'm going to be looking well into midway through next year before we even start talking about things like transfers. At that point, I'm going to be 42. And the older I get, the higher chance of a miscarriage there are anyway. And then on top, and also my body just not being able to cope. On top of that, your things like potentially like menopause, all sorts of things that may happen. Sorry if you can hear my dog barking. There's police cars going past, and he loves singing to police cars. Anyway, so it would save money to go via the NHS. However, I think if I was younger, I would absolutely go, yeah, I'll just wait for the NHS to do that. However, given my age, time really is of the essence. So I really would like to have the hysteroscopy and everything privately and get the ball rolling sort of now. Yes, so I've talked about that. Sorry, I've got notes over here. So the new total, basically, to include a hysteroscopy, PGTA testing on the 6 embryos. She wants me to have a couple of blood tests. She wanted, this includes the cost of all the medications, all of it, comes to £9,742. So there are deductions, however. So far, we've already had the consultation scan and paid for that. That was £360. That can go. The medications, Clexane, which is a blood thinner, it's £182. I already have some of that anyway at home from previous times that we've been trying for IVF and things. So we can remove that. The same with the prednisolone, which is a steroid to try and kind of quieten down my immune response. We can deduct £10 for that. She wanted me to have vitamin D and TSH, which is thyroid blood tests, the up-to-date ones. They come to £155, but my wonderful GP did them yesterday, got bruised. So we can deduct £155 off that as well. That goes. Then the Lubion, which is the progesterone injections. I need to have, they're £100 a week, and I need to have them for 8 weeks. However, I only need them for 2 weeks to start with, which gets me to my pregnancy test. If the pregnancy test isn't positive, then I don't need to continue with them. I'm hoping it would be. However, I don't want to be spending an extra £600 on the additional ones if I'm not pregnant, and then we've just got, we've just spent monies that could have been placed elsewhere or whatever. So for now, we only need £200, so you can deduct another £600 from the cost of the Lubion. That makes what we need is £8,435. Now, there is financing. However, with financing, I'm not sure John's credit. John's in a full-time, job, really good job. He's been in it for a while now as well. Decent salary and everything. However, due to unexpected things we've had to pay for over the last few years, that my dog completely screwed one leg. Well, basically, my dog we couldn't get insurance for my dog. He really badly hurt one leg. That cost £4,000, and then not even 18 months later, he did the same to the other leg, which cost another £4,000. So he now has 2 bionic legs essentially. But that's like £8,000 out of nowhere, which we've had to borrow. Loans and credit cards and maxed out, and then we had to move, and we needed the money for the deposit for the house, and we didn't have the finance at the time, and all sorts of things. Life. Anyway, because of that, I think I'm not sure how good John's financial position is at the moment for financing for credit checks and things. I'm working, but I haven't been in my job long. I was hoping that I'd passed my probation last month. However, sadly, I haven't passed probation due to my numbers not being where they want them to be. So basically, they've extended my probation at the moment. I was hoping that if I had passed it last month, that would put me in a better position, because I don't think they would give me the financing if I'm still on probation. So I was hoping that, if I'd passed last month, that I would be able to apply for financing, because I think my credit rating is better than John's currently. But alas, that's sort of slightly buggered. Excuse the French. So my probation's been extended by a month. Well, that was annoying. My camera totally froze. Anyway, as I was saying, I'm going to have to just edit these together. In truth, I don't even know if I'm ever going to pass probation. I hope I will, but I'm trying my best. I'm working my hardest, but I just don't know. I don't know if it's going to happen. So I don't know what the situation is with financing and credit for us both. However, if we're able to get financing, that's what I mean. The way that works, it's a company called Duology. It's a 30% deposit, which they need, and that will be paid. That would need to be before any treatment starts. So that would be £2,530.50p. So that would be deducted from the bigger loan, the £8,435. So that would make it £5,904.50. Then if we chose the 24-month payback option, it's a 10% APR, which makes the total £6,494.95 as a total payback, which is £270 and £62 a month payback. I mean, what we would still like to keep the GoFundMe open sort of throughout that as well, because any help we can have with the paybacks of that, because that isn't an easy amount of money to pay back, but obviously it's a bit more manageable. So any little bits here and there for that will be really, really kindly accepted. However, right now, the main thing we need is the £2,530.50, which is the deposit. That can start everything now, which would be absolutely amazing. We have already got 700, so that takes it down to basically £1,830.50. We're under the £2,000 mark now of what we need now. So please, 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 anyone who can donate absolutely anything, we would love you and appreciate it. We've already had some really kind donations, and I feel weird to ask it for even more, but having a baby is everything to John and I. The more times we've had losses, the more it's really, really made us very aware of how much we want this, how much we need this, and this is our only dream and real desire in life now of really what we want. I'm not going to sit here and blub and pull out heartstrings. Any of you that know us knows exactly what it means. You've seen the tears, you've seen the pain, you've seen the hospital visits, you've seen all of it. It's been awful. Anything you can donate, please, please, please do. If you can't donate, or even if you can, please, one of the bigger things is please share this, share the GoFundMe page and the videos, please, anywhere, absolutely anywhere, on your own pages, on groups, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, anywhere. The further it goes, the bigger, the wider, the international it goes, the more likely we are to get the funds, and we will be eternally, eternally grateful to make this happen. We need this to happen. What else do I need to say? Basically, just thank you, and let's get us a baby. We love you all. Thank you very much, and I hope you're having a good day. Take care.